A musical giant in shadow, Johann Sebastian Bach, a name synonymous with genius, a composer revered for his intricate compositions. Yet, in his lifetime, Bach was not the global icon we know today. He was a working musician, a family man, navigating the complexities of patronage and courtly demands. Imagine a world where Bach's masterpieces were not instantly recognized, where his genius was debated, even overshadowed by contemporaries. This was Bach's reality, a stark contrast to the universal acclaim he receives today. His story is not one of instant fame, but of dedication, years spent honing his craft, composing for demanding patrons, teaching a new generation of musicians. His genius, evident in the sheer volume and complexity of his work, was often misunderstood. Critics found his music too dense, too academic, but within those intricate layers lay the heart of a true innovator, a master pushing the boundaries of what music could be. The weight of legacy. Born in 1685 in Eisenach, Germany, Bach's musical heritage was almost preordained. He hailed from a long line of musicians, a family tree intertwined with the very fabric of German musical tradition. This legacy, while a source of inspiration, also cast a long shadow. Bach was not simply composing, he was adding to a rich tapestry woven by generations. The weight of expectation was immense. From a young age, Bach absorbed the musical language of his forefathers. He learned to play multiple instruments, mastered the art of composition, and immersed himself in the sacred music of the church. These early experiences shaped not only his technical skills, but also his profound understanding of musical form and structure. His genius lay not just in raw talent, but in his ability to synthesize tradition with innovation. Beyond the familiar tunes. Today we celebrate Bach for iconic works like the Toccata and Fugue in D minor and the Brandenburg Concertos. These pieces, instantly recognizable, are but glimpses into a vast and varied repertoire. Bach's output was prodigious, encompassing a staggering range of musical forms. From cantatas and oratorios to concertos and suites, he moved effortlessly between genres, leaving his indelible mark on each. His music transcended the confines of the Baroque period. He embraced the complexities of counterpoint, where independent melodic lines intertwined to create rich, multi-layered textures. His fugues, in particular, stand as testaments to his mastery of this demanding form. Yet, within the intellectual rigor of his compositions, there is an undeniable emotional depth, a profound humanity that resonates with listeners centuries later. A life unveiled through music. Bach's life story is inextricably linked to his music. Each composition offers a window into his world, reflecting his joys, sorrows, and spiritual beliefs. His personal experiences, from the loss of his parents at a young age to the challenges of raising a large family, found expression in his art. To understand Bach, we must listen not just to the notes, but to the stories they tell. This essay embarks on a journey through the life and music of Johann Sebastian Bach. It delves beyond the well-known facts, uncovering the man behind the myth. We will explore his early influences, his struggles and triumphs, and the enduring power of his musical legacy. Join us as we unravel the complexities of his genius and discover why his music continues to captivate and inspire the world. A musical inheritance. Eisenach, a small town nestled in the heart of Germany, was where Johann Sebastian Bach entered the world on March 31st, 1685. His birth was not a solitary event, but rather another note in a grand symphony of music that resonated through his family. For generations, the Bachs had been renowned musicians, their names synonymous with talent and craftsmanship in the world of music. From church organists to court trumpeters, the family tree was a testament to their enduring passion. Johann Sebastian, the youngest son of Johann Ambrosius Bach, a respected town musician, inherited this rich legacy. The sounds of his childhood were not just lullabies, but the intricate melodies of his father's violin and the resonant chords of the church organ. Music was not merely an art form for the Bach family, it was their livelihood, their language, their very essence. Growing up surrounded by such talent, it was almost inevitable that Johann Sebastian would follow in their footsteps. The Young Prodigy. From his earliest years, Johann Sebastian displayed an extraordinary aptitude for music. His father, recognizing this innate talent, became his first teacher, instructing him in the violin and the fundamentals of music theory. The young Bach, a sponge for knowledge, absorbed everything with an eagerness that astonished those around him. His tiny fingers, nimble and precise, danced across the strings of the violin, coaxing out melodies that belied his tender age. He possessed an unquenchable thirst for learning, often spending hours studying musical scores, dissecting their complexities and committing them to memory. His older brother, Johann Christoph, an organist in a nearby town, became another crucial influence. Recognizing his younger brother's talent and dedication, Johann Christoph provided him with further instruction in keyboard instruments and composition. These formative years laid the groundwork for Bach's future mastery, instilling in him not only technical skill but also a deep appreciation for the intricacies of musical form and structure. Seeking knowledge and opportunity. At 10, tragedy struck the Bach family. His father passed away, leaving him orphaned. He lived with his older brother Johann Christoph for musical education. At 15, Bach left for Lüneburg, seeking independence. He became a choir boy at St. Michael's School. This marked a turning point, immersing him in new musical experiences. The weight of tragedy. While Lüneburg offered a stimulating environment for Bach's musical development, it also brought further personal loss. Just a year after his arrival, his brother Johann Christoph passed away. This tragedy, compounding the earlier loss of his parents, left a profound mark on the young musician. Despite the emotional turmoil, Bach persevered, drawing strength from his music and his unwavering dedication to his craft. He continued his studies with fervor, seeking out the guidance of renowned organists and composers in Lüneburg and Hamburg. He immersed himself in the works of Dietrich Buxtehude, a master of organ music, traveling great distances to hear him play and absorb his innovative techniques. These experiences broadened Bach's musical horizons, exposing him to a diverse range of styles and approaches to composition. Through it all, music served as both solace and inspiration, a constant companion in the face of adversity, a family united by music. In 1703, at 18, Bach's formal education ended. He became a skilled musician, proficient in multiple instruments. He started his career as a court musician in Weimar. His journey was not solitary. In 1707, he married Maria Barbara Bach, a talented singer. Together, they built a family deeply intertwined with music. Their home resonated with music and laughter. This connection shaped his compositions and artistic journey. A court musician's life. The early 18th century offered limited career paths for aspiring musicians. One of the most prestigious was that of a court musician, employed by wealthy noblemen or royalty. Musicians were expected to be versatile, composing and performing a wide range of genres. Johann Sebastian Bach navigated this world with talent and ambition. His first significant appointment was in the court orchestra of Duke Johann Ernst in Weimar. The Arnstadt Appointment. Bach's time in Weimar was relatively short-lived. He yearned for a position that would allow him greater creative freedom and recognition for his talents. In 1703, an opportunity arose in the town of Arnstadt, where a position as organist at the new church became available. Bach, eager to showcase his skills on the instrument he loved most, applied for the post and, after a successful audition, was appointed organist in August of that year. The Arnstadt appointment marked a significant step forward in Bach's career. It was his first substantial position as an organist, a role that held considerable prestige within the musical landscape of the time. The new church, with its magnificent organ boasting a wide range of stops and tonal colors, provided Bach with the perfect instrument to explore his musical ideas. He embraced this opportunity with characteristic zeal, immersing himself in his duties and captivating congregations with his virtuosic performances and innovative compositions. pushing boundaries, sparking controversy. Bach's tenure at Arnstadt, while marked by musical brilliance, was not without its challenges. His innovative approach to composition and his penchant for improvisation, while admired by some, raised eyebrows among the church elders. Accustomed to a more traditional style of church music, they found Bach's compositions overly complex and his improvisations lacking in restraint. One particular incident, recorded in church documents, highlights the growing tension between Bach and his superiors. He was reprimanded for allowing a stranger maiden to sing in the church choir, a decision deemed inappropriate by the conservative elders. Bach, always a staunch defender of his artistic choices, clashed with the authorities on several occasions, defending his right to innovate and experiment within the confines of his position. These early conflicts foreshadowed the challenges he would face throughout his career, as he navigated the expectations of patrons and the conventions of his time. The Mühlhausen Years. After 4 years in Arnstadt, Bach, feeling increasingly constrained by the conservative atmosphere, sought a change of scenery. In 1707, he accepted a position as organist at the St. Blasius Church in Mühlhausen, a larger and more cosmopolitan town than Arnstadt. The move to Mühlhausen marked a period of both personal and professional growth for Bach. He married Maria Barbara Bach, his second cousin, that same year, and their shared love of music deepened their bond. Mühlhausen also provided Bach with a more receptive audience for his musical innovations. The town council, impressed by his talent and ambition, commissioned him to compose a new cantata, Gottes Zeit ist die allerbeste Zeit, God's time is the best time, for the inauguration of a new town councillor. This cantata, with its dramatic opening chorus and its expressive use of vocal and instrumental forces, showcased Bach's growing mastery of large-scale composition and solidified his reputation as a composer of exceptional talent. A growing reputation. Bach's reputation as a brilliant organist and a composer of increasing renown spread beyond the confines of Mühlhausen. His virtuosic performances on the organ, characterized by their technical brilliance and emotional depth, drew admirers from far and wide. Musicians and music lovers alike flocked to hear him play, eager to witness his mastery of the instrument. One such admirer was Wilhelm Ernst, the Duke of Saxe-Weimar, who, upon hearing Bach play, was reportedly so impressed that he immediately offered him a position at his court. Bach, recognizing the opportunities that such a prestigious appointment could provide, accepted the Duke's offer and, in 1708, moved back to Weimar, this time not as a lowly lackey but as the court organist and chamber musician to the Duke himself. This marked a significant turning point in his career, elevating his status and providing him with the resources and support to further develop his musical talents. Weimar, a crucible of creativity. The Weimar years were a period of intense creativity for Bach. Freed from constraints, he explored new musical forms and refined his technique. The Duke provided access to a wealth of musical resources. Bach composed celebrated organ works, including the Toccata and Fugue in D minor. He also composed cantatas, chamber works, and keyboard pieces. A universe of sound surveying Bach's output. To delve into the major works of Johann Sebastian Bach is to embark on a journey through a vast and diverse musical landscape. His output was prodigious, encompassing a staggering array of genres and forms, each bearing the unmistakable stamp of his genius, from the intimate introspection of his solo cello suites to the grandeur and drama of his choral works. Bach's music continues to captivate and inspire audiences centuries after its creation. His compositions are often categorized by the instruments or ensembles for which they were written: organ works, keyboard works, orchestral works, choral works, and chamber music. Within each category, however, lies a wealth of individual pieces, each with its own unique character and significance. There are fugues of intricate complexity, concertos of sparkling brilliance, cantatas of profound spiritual depth, and suites of elegant charm. To truly appreciate the scope of Bach's genius, one must explore the full spectrum of his creative output. cantatas, sermons in music. Among Bach's most significant contributions are his cantatas. These works, composed for Lutheran services, fuse music and text, enhancing spiritual messages. He composed over 200 cantatas at St. Thomas Church in Leipzig. The cantata allowed Bach to combine his faith with his musical talent. Keyboard innovations, the Well-Tempered Clavier. Bach's mastery of keyboard instruments is evident in his vast output of keyboard works. The Well-Tempered Clavier stands as a monumental achievement, showcasing his innovative approach to tuning. This two-part work revolutionized keyboard music and laid the groundwork for Western tonal harmony. Bach's work demonstrated the possibilities of equal temperament, allowing for the use of all keys with equal clarity. Orchestral masterpieces, the Brandenburg Concertos. Bach's 6 Brandenburg Concertos are celebrated works in the orchestral repertoire. Each concerto showcases Bach's mastery of the concerto grosso form. Despite their uncertain early history, they are now cornerstones of the orchestral repertoire. The Art of Fugue, a monument to Counterpoint. A work of extraordinary complexity, showcasing Bach's mastery of counterpoint. 14 fugues and 4 canons, all based on a single thematic idea. Bach left it unfinished at his death in 1750. Some see the unfinished nature as symbolic, representing infinite possibilities, a monumental achievement, inspiring musicians and listeners for centuries. The Mass in B minor, a pinnacle of choral music. Bach's Mass in B minor is widely considered to be one of the crowning achievements of Western choral music. This monumental work, scored for soloist, choir and orchestra, is a profound expression of faith encompassing the traditional Latin text of the Mass Ordinary, with movements of breathtaking beauty, drama and spiritual depth. Composed over many years, the Mass in B minor was not intended for a single performance, but rather as a collection of movements that could be performed separately or together. The work showcases Bach's mastery of a wide range of musical styles, from the intricate polyphony of the Kyrie to the joyous exuberance of the Gloria. The Mass in B minor is a work of profound emotional and spiritual resonance, a testament to the power of music to transcend time and touch the human soul. Innovation rooted in tradition. While Johann Sebastian Bach is celebrated for his musical innovations, it is important to recognize that his genius was deeply rooted in tradition. He was a master of absorbing and synthesizing the musical styles and techniques of his predecessors, transforming them into something entirely new and original. Bach's music reflects the influence of Italian composers like Vivaldi and Corelli, whose concertos and sonatas inspired his own instrumental works. He was also deeply influenced by the German organ tradition, particularly the works of Dietrich Buxtehude, whose complex fugues and improvisatory style left a lasting impression on the young Bach. Yet, while Bach drew inspiration from these sources, he never merely imitated. He absorbed, transformed, and ultimately transcended his influences, creating a musical language that was both deeply personal and universal in its appeal. The culmination of Baroque. Johann Sebastian Bach stands as a towering figure of the Baroque era, not just as a participant, but as its culmination. Born in 1685, towards the end of this period of artistic flourishing, Bach absorbed the musical innovations of his predecessors and propelled them to new heights. His music embodies the essence of Baroque aesthetics, intricate ornamentation, dramatic contrasts, and a focus on emotional intensity. While other composers like Vivaldi and Handel explored the grandeur of the concerto and the opera, Bach delved into the depths of counterpoint, fugue, and the organ, forms considered more scholarly and complex, yet he infused them with a vibrancy and emotional resonance previously unheard of. His music wasn't merely mathematically precise, it was deeply moving, capable of expressing a vast range of human emotion within the framework of Baroque conventions. a master of counterpoint and fugue. One cannot discuss Bach's contribution to Baroque music without emphasizing his mastery of counterpoint and fugue. Counterpoint, the art of weaving independent melodic lines into a harmonious whole, reached its zenith in Bach's hands. He treated voices like characters in a conversation, each with its distinct personality, yet seamlessly intertwining to create a rich tapestry of sound. The fugue, a highly structured form based on the development of a single theme, the subject, became Bach's signature. Works like The Art of Fugue and the numerous fugues within the Well-Tempered Clavier are testaments to his unmatched skill. He could transform a simple melodic idea into a complex and exhilarating musical journey, full of twists, turns, and unexpected harmonies, all while maintaining absolute clarity and logic in the structure. Shaping musical forms. Bach's influence extended beyond specific techniques. He left his mark on the very structure of musical forms. The Baroque suite, a collection of dances, took on new life in his hands. Suites like the French suites and the English suites showcased his ability to imbue these stylized dances with character and emotional depth, transforming them from mere courtly entertainment into profound musical statements. His cantatas, composed for Lutheran church services, redefined the relationship between music and religious text. He treated the words with utmost respect, using his musical genius to amplify their emotional impact. Arias soared with operatic beauty, choruses thundered with divine power, and recitatives conveyed the text with a dramatic immediacy that captivated congregations. The legacy of innovation. Though deeply rooted in tradition, Bach was a relentless innovator. His exploration of equal temperament in the Well-Tempered Clavier revolutionized keyboard tuning and paved the way for new harmonic possibilities, influencing generations of composers to come. He also expanded the expressive potential of existing instruments. His solo violin sonatas and partitas, for example, are not merely technical showpieces, but deeply personal and emotionally charged works that pushed the boundaries of what was considered possible on the instrument. Similarly, his cello suites, with their rich harmonies and complex polyphony, elevated the cello from a supporting instrument to a solo voice capable of profound expressiveness. Beyond the Baroque horizon, while Bach's music epitomized the Baroque era, his influence transcended his time. His emphasis on structure, counterpoint, and fugue had a profound impact on later composers. From Mozart and Beethoven to Brahms and Schoenberg, they studied his scores, marveling at their complexity and ingenuity, finding in them a wealth of inspiration and guidance. Today, Bach's music continues to resonate with audiences worldwide. His works are performed in concert halls and churches, studied in classrooms and enjoyed in homes, their timeless beauty and emotional depth transcending cultural and historical boundaries. Johann Sebastian Bach's legacy is not merely that of a great Baroque composer. It is that of a musical titan whose genius helped shape the course of Western music, leaving an indelible mark on the world's cultural heritage. The composer and the coffee house. While Johann Sebastian Bach is often remembered for his solemn organ works and intricate fugues, his life wasn't solely confined to churches and courtly halls. He was also a man of his time, enjoying the social life and cultural offerings of 18th century Germany. One of his lesser-known passions was his fondness for coffee, a beverage rapidly gaining popularity in Europe at the time. In Leipzig, where Bach spent a significant portion of his career, he frequented a particular establishment known as Zimmermann's Coffee House. This popular gathering place wasn't just a place to sip the invigorating brew, it was a hub of intellectual and artistic exchange. Musicians, writers, and thinkers would gather there to debate the latest ideas, share their work, and enjoy each other's company. Bach, despite his often serious demeanor, was known to engage in lively discussions and even partake in the occasional musical improvisation at Zimmermann's. A musical duel and a daring escape. One anecdote from Bach's younger years reveals his competitive spirit and his daring nature. While serving as court organist in Weimar, Bach heard tales of a renowned French organist named Louis Marchand, known for his virtuosity and improvisational skills. Marchand arrived in Dresden, a city near Weimar, and Bach, eager to meet this musical rival, traveled there incognito to hear him play. Impressed by Marchand's technique but confident in his own abilities, Bach challenged the French organist to a musical duel. The contest, held in front of a select group of musicians and noblemen, promised to be a battle of keyboard titans. However, just before the appointed time, Marchand abruptly fled Dresden, leaving behind his belongings and his reputation. While the exact reasons for Marchand's sudden departure remain a subject of speculation, some historians believe he got wind of Bach's prowess and decided to avoid a potentially humiliating defeat. Bach's family, a symphony of talent. Music was truly the family business for the Bachs. Johann Sebastian himself fathered 20 children, many of whom inherited his musical genes and went on to have successful careers of their own. 4 of his sons, Wilhelm Friedemann, Carl Philipp Emanuel, Johann Christoph Friedrich and Johann Christian, achieved considerable fame as composers and performers during their lifetimes. Wilhelm Friedemann, the eldest, was known for his improvisational skills and his emotionally charged organ works. Carl Philipp Emanuel, perhaps the most famous of Bach's sons, developed a more expressive and dramatic style, bridging the gap between the Baroque and classical periods. Johann Christoph Friedrich, known as the Buckeburg Bach, held a prestigious position as a court musician and composer, while Johann Christian, the London Bach, achieved international fame for his operas and keyboard concertos. The Bach family legacy, spanning several generations, stands as a testament to the power of inherited talent and a nurturing environment. Rediscovering a genius, Bach's posthumous fame. Despite his undeniable genius and his considerable influence during his lifetime, Johann Sebastian Bach's music fell into relative obscurity after his death in 1750. His works, considered by some to be overly complex and old-fashioned in the burgeoning classical era, were overshadowed by the emerging styles of Mozart, Haydn, and Beethoven. It wasn't until the early 19th century that Bach's music experienced a remarkable revival, thanks in part to the efforts of German composer and conductor Felix Mendelssohn. Mendelssohn, a passionate admirer of Bach's work, recognized the timeless beauty and intellectual depth of his compositions. In 1829, he organized a performance of Bach's St. Matthew Passion in Leipzig, which was met with overwhelming acclaim, reintroducing Bach's music to a new generation and sparking a renewed interest in his vast and often overlooked output. This rediscovery marked the beginning of Bach's enduring legacy as one of the most influential and beloved composers in Western music history. The silent legacy. Johann Sebastian Bach died in 1750, leaving behind a legacy that at the time remained largely unsung. His intricate scores lay dormant, gathering dust in libraries, over 1,000 compositions spanning every genre imaginable. His death coincided with the shifting musical landscape. The world moved on, embracing new sounds. Bach's intricate counterpoint and fugues came to be seen as old-fashioned. The master organist slipped into relative obscurity. A timeless echo, music transcends temporal boundaries. Bach's compositions rekindled for a new age. Rediscovered manuscripts whispered of genius, musicians found breathtaking scores. Bach's counterpoint resonated anew. His music spoke a universal language, the mathematician of music. Bach's music blends intellectual rigor and emotional depth. He composed with mathematical precision, each voice meticulously placed. Counterpoint expressed human emotions, joy, sorrow, faith, and doubt. His fugues, musical labyrinths, reflect this complexity. This blend continues to captivate musicians and listeners. Beyond the score, a legacy of humanity. Bach's legacy extends beyond concert halls and music academies. His music seeps into popular culture, film scores, commercials, even ringtones. His portrait on coffee mugs and t-shirts shows his iconic status. Bach's music inspires musicians across genres from classical to rock, His influence is heard in Mozart, Beethoven, and beyond. Bach's legacy lives on in recordings, concert halls, and hearts.